Hey YouTube, it's Jennifer here, back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new or if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. As you can see, I'm just sitting outside. It is 5:18 on a Friday, April 1st. And I haven't been too long, got home from work. If you hear that squeaking in the background, my dog is right here at my feet playing with his toy. I hope it's not too disturbing. But anyway, I decided I just want to come in, make a quick video, kind of talk about how my Thursday and Friday have gone this week. It's been interesting, as I always say, to say the least. I mean, the least. This life of a special education teacher, just never know. Yesterday, I had a disturbing conversation with a teacher of one of my students. This student only comes to school till 1 o'clock. He leaves at 1 o'clock every day because he was having some behavior issues the beginning of the school year. So around March, his mom decided that maybe it would be best if he only came to 1. So he does literacy. He has 2 teachers. With our 5th grade, we have they have 2 teachers. They have the literacy teacher and they have a math teacher, or math and science. So he was having a lot of issues when he switched. They switched classes at 11 o'clock or 10:55, and they go to their afternoon class. So he do okay during the morning class sometimes, and he started having issues in math when he switched. So mom decided that she, go ahead and start picking him up at 1 because he had started walking off out of the building. We'd have to pretty much chase him and try to convince him to come back into the building, that type of thing. Anyway, this particular student, 8:30 yesterday morning, he when I went to pick up because he's an indirect student, so he does not actually come to me for resource classes, but I do manage his IEP and modifications and things, but he stays in the classroom just like a regular student. So there are resource students that I pull in his class, and I went to go get that group of students, and I saw the principal was in there, and so I knew then must have been something going on. So my student was he was standing up against the back wall of the classroom. It's actually a curtain because it's weird, but our classrooms now have a curtain that splits them. It's not a regular curtain, but I can't really explain it. But anyway, it separates classrooms. So he was standing up there. I could tell by the look on his face that he was in a mood. I didn't say anything to him. I just kind of looked at my principal, and we made eye contact, and so I had my student observer with me, student teacher. So I decided to let her take the kids that I was pulling, and because I already had laid out what I wanted them to do, so I let her take them back to class, and I just stood in the classroom with this student just in case I had to contact mom. Well, I went to my classroom because I didn't have my cell phone on me, so I went and grabbed my cell phone and I came back just in case I was going to have mom to come get him. So I texted mom and told him, he wasn't having a good morning, and I was going to try to let him, calm himself down instead of just coming and picking him up, because she asked me if she needed to come get him, and I told her I was just going to let him have a chance to calm himself down and make sure it didn't escalate to flipping desk, or because he has done that before. So anyway, the principal came out, and the student, he sat down on the floor, and he just kind of sat in the back of the floor. He was quiet. He wasn't bothering anybody. He wasn't participating, but he wasn't bothering anybody. So I didn't even go in the classroom. I stood outside the door so he couldn't see me, because a lot of times if he sees me, it escalates his situation. So I didn't say anything to him. I didn't go in the classroom. I just kind of watched him from outside to make sure everything was okay. And he sat quietly, and there was no problem. So after a few minutes, probably about 10 minutes of watching him and seeing that he seemed to be doing okay, I asked the teacher to step out, and so she could tell me what kind of happened that set him off. And of course, one of the things that usually bothers him is consequences for his actions. And so apparently, he and the rest of the class were doing a lot of talking, and they wouldn't get quiet when the teacher told them to. And so she took their recess, and it kind of went from there. Anyway, after I told her, if she needed me, just contact me and let me know, and I'd come back. So I went back to my classroom, and probably about an hour or so later, she was taking her students to the restroom for the restroom break, and she stopped by, and she says, he told me why he came to my desk after he calmed down, and he said, you want to know why I wasn't acting right this morning? Because I didn't sleep well the night before. And she asked him, why didn't you sleep well? What was going on? And he proceeds to tell her that demons are talking to him and were trying to make him worship them, in other words, and trying to get him to hurt his mom. And guys, that's when I say that disturbed me, it really disturbed me. I knew it disturbed the teacher, and he didn't want the teacher to tell me, but of course she had to. And then of course I had to make sure that mom's knowing what's going on with him. So I did. When mom came to pick him up, I texted mom, and I didn't tell her what was going on. I just said he had said something disturbing, and that I would get the teacher to contact her and let her know, so she could hear from the teacher. And so she would be aware, and so she could tell, because he does have a counselor, so she could let the counselor know, because he doesn't talk to the counselor. Mama said he won't talk to the counselor, but I know he needs somebody to talk to, so we just want to make sure that I told the teacher, if he feels like he can talk to you, that's good. At least he's talking to someone. So long story short, the teacher did contact mom on her break and tell mom what happened, but by the time she contacted mom had already kind of asked him how his day was, how it went, and if there's anything he wanted to talk about. And he had already told mom basically the same thing he told the teacher. So I was glad that he did share that with his mom, and so he was honest with her. And so by the time the teacher called, he had already told his mom. So that was yesterday, and the rest of the afternoon, the rest of my students, it went well. And today, this morning, this wasn't my student, not on my caseload, but they're all our students. So mind you, I do teach 5th grade, and we have some students who have behavior issues and problems, and we have what we call a ALE, which is alternative learning environment. And so students that can't behave in class, they're sent to this classroom after a while. And so one of these particular students got caught with a vape. He was passing it to another student in class, and the teacher saw it. So that happened about 8:30 this morning. And I'm like, what is going on with these kids? This is so much. I don't understand. 5th grade. First of all, this is not this child's first time being caught with a vape at school. So, I'm thinking to myself, after the first time, as a parent, I just couldn't imagine, first of all, it happening at all. But why wouldn't you put it up a way where he couldn't get it another time? It's just crazy. And it's never a dull moment. It's never a dull moment. From attitude problems, talking back, it's always something. It's rough. So we're in the middle now. We've talked about revamping our discipline policy, because we don't send students home. They don't have out of school suspension. We only have in school suspension, and that's not working. And my principal, he's new this year, and he hasn't really used corporal punishment. I know everybody doesn't believe in corporal punishment, but I'm a firm believer in it. I think it does work if used properly and correctly, because I know that what we're doing now is not working. We're losing teachers because the discipline, they don't feel like they're supported. They have to deal with all this discipline. They can't really teach their kids because they're dealing with discipline all day. And I know it's like that, I'm sure, everywhere. But it's a lot. In the 10 years I've been teaching in the public school, things have definitely changed quite a bit. The students are dealing with more issues. Their behavior seems to have gotten a little worse. But anyway, I just wanted to stop in, guys, and say hi and kind of tell you a little bit about the rest of my week. And don't forget to subscribe and like my video. And I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.